Hey guys, Kyle here. I am your host of Surreal, episode 4. Um, Not much to say about today. I don't think too many people were in the woods. Um, Rain kind of pushed them away, I think. But yeah, as far as my cameras went, there was still quite a bit of movement going on. On some of the social media platforms, I've seen some videos posted of bucks cruising, checking trails. Um, and like yesterday, I think right now, majority of them bucks right now, they're just going around chucking that stage of estrus, just kind of following behind them does, waiting for that first doe to come in estrus so that they can try to go lock her down. Um, Man, what an exciting time of year! Bucks are starting to move. People are starting to harvest. Whew. Hopefully, you've done all your preseason preparation and come this weekend, if you don't have to work, you can get out there and wrap your tag around one of them. This weather kind of reminds me of so years ago, um, me and Buddy were hunting this piece of ground, and he had seen a buck come out of this corner two times in the two two of the previous nights, I should say. And so that third day, we're trying to strategize a plan, and it was spit and rain just like it has been. And I said, and it was supposed to cut off. So like tomorrow or like today, per se, today at, I don't know, depends on where you're at, I guess, throughout the Midwest. I know here in central Iowa, I think this afternoon, it's supposed to cut off. And that's a huge moment too, that you can, after they've been laying and getting soaked by that rain, they'll get up and initially want to move. And I think that's what happened that night too, that I was in there. I ended up going, we didn't have nothing set up in that back corner, but I ended up going in and I hunted from the ground. I tucked myself in near a fallen tree, and I'm not kidding you, it probably wasn't 15, 30 minutes after the rain stopped. He popped out in that corner again, only this time from where the original tree stand was, talking 350, 400 yards away. I'm right there within 75 yards of him. And he steps out and he is on a mission. I have, I mean, he was alone, bound and determined to go somewhere. Like he had a destination and nose to the ground. I don't know if he had just got up, and I wouldn't assume after that rain you'd be able to pick up an estrus right off of everything would be fresh ozone. So, but either way, he's beelining across this field, and um, my first call at him was an estrus call. I throw an estrus call at him, and he didn't even flint. He didn't turn his head. Another estrus call, didn't turn his head. I'm like, oh man, okay. Well, a few little grunts, still didn't even turn his head. Straight mission to go somewhere. All right, all right. What am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? All right. Rattled just a little bit. Nothing. Almost like Billy said yesterday. Nothing too over the top. Just that little in between of they're just coming out of tickling. They're going to go into full out bras. Even now, but just right there in the middle. And I hit him, and still nothing. I followed up with exactly what and that was funny because he had that story yesterday about that, and as soon as he snort wheezed, and then today the rain happens, and with that story, it just brought that memory back. And this is years ago. And anyway, so he's, like I said, beeline mission, and I throw a few little short grunts, followed up with a wheeze, and he turned his head so hard I thought he was gonna break his neck. looks over, and I'm not kidding you, it was probably 5 minutes he looked over there. And I'm sitting here shaking like a leaf. Not, I mean, he's directly looking at me. At this point, he had already walked. So now he's out in the middle of this field, looking back at this tree line. And I'm just sitting in this gap where this tree had fallen. And he's just looking, and I'm sitting there shaking so bad. I'm like, I'm busted. He's looking right at me. And like I said, it seemed like 5 minutes he stood there, but next thing you know, he starts beelining right over to me. He was heading downwind to me, and I was able to catch him right at, I think it was 40 yards. Smoked him, literally went another 40 yards and dropped dead. I was I was ecstatic, but like we said, perfect time of this season, um, that pre-rut to be going after your target bucks, moving in on them, and not being scared to move in on them. With this rain today, when it cuts off wherever you are, if you are lucky enough to have it cut off before sunset, getting in that tree stand right before the rain ends, yeah, you might get a little wet, but my goodness, I've seen so many success stories about just going in right as it's ending or right before it had ended, just because that walk in, I mean, it's blanketing the ground with fresh ozone, your scent's washing away, um, and they're wanting to get up after they've just bedded down and been soaked. So sometimes some of the best sits are, man, if that rain can cut off at 2, 3, 4, some of the calls for some great evening sits when that does happen. So with that, like I said, if you want to come on, download the Anchor app. We'll get you in live. Um, but whatever podcast platform you like to listen to podcasts on, hope you subscribe. Like I said, little podcasts like this every day is my goal. Hope you guys are enjoying them. Y'all have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon.